Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to give you a brief overview of Wales in all their tournaments we qualified for under 2018 qualifiers for the Russia World Cup. So let's get straight into it. First of all then, this is recorded on the day that we've lost to Iran, so I'm not in the greatest mood. Second of all, if you're new around here, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could like and subscribe. We are like 6 subscribers, I think we are off 700, sorry. So yeah, thank you. So Wales' first game, a competitive game even, was against Scotland back in 1876 on the 25th of March. This was in Scotland in Glasgow. We lost the game 4-0 and obviously not a great start. However, the Welsh national team is the third oldest team in international football behind England and Scotland. Fun fact. So, skipping straight over to 1958 when Wales qualified for the World Cup, their first ever major tournament. Now, this did not come with controversy though. Wales only qualified after beating Israel 4-0 in a two-legged affair. Now, Israel in the time when the Asian qualifiers, I think it was, not in the European qualifiers. So, how did Israel get there? By not playing a single game. How did they not play a single game and get there? Politics. Fun. So, Wales were the only team willing to face Israel in this two-legged affair. Every other team that they were meant to face said no, we do not want to play them due to stuff that's happening back there in Israel. Wales went to Israel, 1-2-0 in the first leg, even though they didn't do any football training because they forgot a ball. Yeah. Then went back to Cardiff and beat them 2-0 again. And we went through 4-0 on aggregate. We're through in the World Cup. Now in that World Cup we got 3 points. We had Hungary in our group as well, who obviously at the time was one of the best teams in the world. We then beat them 1-0 in another game where that was meant to happen. This only happened because they were both level on points and it had to happen for the team to be decided. Wales then win, go through to the quarterfinals and get knocked out to Pele's Brazil. Pele dominated the game even at the age of 17 and knocked Wales out. Skipping ahead though to 2016, Wales in the Euros 2016 qualifiers were drawn into a group with Andorra, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Israel, Cyprus and Belgium. This is a pretty tough group for the Welsh national team, but they did not let that make them scared. So in the first game we faced Andorra in 2014. We won the game 2-1, 2 goals from Gareth Bale in the 22nd minute and 81st minute. First win of the group stage on the first day, puts in a good spot. We then continued to verse Bosnia and Herzegovina in the second match day, where we drew 0-0, putting us on 4 points after 2 games. Not a very bad start. We then continued to verse Cyprus, where we win 2-1, but it did cost Andy King a red card. Goals coming from David Cotterell and Hal Robson-Kanu. Going into the fourth game, we now had the hardest team in our group, Belgium, which we drew 0-0, no goals. We go into the fifth game against Israel. This is a game that was really tough actually, because Israel up to this point were top of the group without losing a single game. Going into this, so Israel are going to smack us. It's in Israel. They want revenge after the 1958 World Cup. But no, Wales win 3-0. Goals coming from Ramsey in the injury time of the 45th of the first half, and then 2 goals coming in the second half from Gareth Bale in the 50th minute and the 77th minute. Israel got a red card, and Wales are now top of the group. We're going to our next game versus now the best team, Belgium. We win 1-0 in the 25th minute. Goals all coming from Bell, left, right and centre. But this is not a bad Belgium team. They had the likes of Dries Mertens, Christian Benteke, Courtois, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Nangolan, Hazard, and one of the best players in the world at the moment, Kevin De Bruyne. That's not an easy game. But the starting 11, they were starting most games in. You had the likes of Wayne Hennessy, Ashley Williams, Hal Robson-Kanu, Aaron Ramsey, Joe Ledley and Gareth Bale, led them out and got them the lead, and obviously topped the group still. Now we go versus Cyprus with another 1-0 win, another goal coming from Gareth Bale, and another game where we've won. And then we go into a game that can get us qualified no matter what for the Euros. Sadly, we do not take the chance and we draw 0-0 to Israel. Going into the 9th game, if we win this now, we've automatically qualified, then there is no doubt in it. However, we lose 2-0 to Bosnia and Herzegovina, goals coming from Djuric and Ibisevic. So, Wales might be bottling this. But no, a loss by Israel meant that Wales had qualified for the first major tournament in over 60 years. It only took them, well, over 50 years, but it only took them that long. But the likes of Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey dragging them through these qualifiers, and even with one loss, meaning we did not come top, as Belgium won against, I think it was Andorra or Cyprus, one of the two, meant they went top and Wales come second, but there's still one game to go where Wales beat Andorra 2-0, goals coming from Ramsey and Bale. So this means that Wales have come second in their group and had finally qualified for the Euros. How did they do in the Euros, though, you may be asking, if you did not watch football at the time? Well, they had a pretty tough group, being drawn into a group with Slovakia, England and Russia. Now, if you don't know how the Euros works, the top 2 teams qualify and then the third team has a chance of going through. The third team can only go through, though, depending on their points, and every team has a chance of finishing third and going through. The actual winners of the Euros was Portugal, who finished third in their group. We'll get on to Portugal later. So, in that group, Wales were massive underdogs, as the likes of Russia and Slovakia and England were all already proven nations in Europe. Wales go into their first game, though, against Slovakia, winning 2-1. Gareth Bale scoring early on, and then Duda equalising for Slovakia. It's not enough, though, as Han Robson-Kanu, who becomes a hero in this tournament, gets an 81st minute winner. The team that started, though, this game for Wales was Danny Ward in goal, as Wayne Hennessy was injured, James Chester, Ashley Williams and Ben Davis as the back 3, Edwards, Joe Allen and Aaron Ramsey in the midfield, with out wide Chris Gunter and Neil Taylor, up front Gareth Bale and Johnny Williams. Coming off the bench was Joe Ledley, Hal Robson-Kanu and Jazz Richards. The manager at the time was Chris Coleman. This was his last tournament. But before you get any further, this team was built on one man and one man only, Gary Speed. You might not know who Gary Speed is. He was a Welsh manager that really brought in this system of, let's get these like 15 players, 20 players, and let's make them into a team. That was when he started Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey started to come through. Sadly, Gary Speed, unknown to anyone, was not in a great space of his own, from what it seems like, and on a very unfortunate day, Gary Speed decided that it was his day to no longer be with everyone. Now, on this day, that was a massive shock to everyone, and it was not a very happy day for anyone that knew Gary Speed, and my condolences still go out to anyone that was close to Gary Speed and his family and friends, obviously. However, back here, there was signs everywhere of, let's do this for speed, and it was just like, let's do it for speed. And the Welsh boys had gone out there, beat Slovakia 2-1 in the first game, and we'd done it for speed in the first game. In the second game, we versed the best team in the group, that was one of the favourites for the tournament, with the new stars coming up like Marcus Rashford, and it was England. Gareth Bale gives us a goal after a Joe Hart mistake that he really should have saved, but it was not enough, as Jamie Vardy and Daniel Sturridge both come off the bench, getting England the goals to win 2-1 with a 92nd minute winner from Daniel Sturridge. Going into our third game of the Euros against Russia. Now, this was a massive game. If Russia won, we had a very high chance to get knocked out. So the boys did not let the people back at home down, as we win at the Stadium Municipal in Toulouse, winning the game 3-0. Goals from Aaron Ramsey, Neil Taylor and Gareth Bale, free kick, clean sheet for Wayne Hennessy and his defence, and we're through to the round of 16, top in the group, beating the likes of England, Slovakia and Russia all to that top spot, and we're through. Now in the round of 16, is this one step too far for the Welsh boys? No, as we beat Northern Ireland 1-0. Funny enough, actually, bit of controversy, Martin Atkinson refereed that game. He's obviously an English referee. Why is an English referee refereeing the Wales versus Northern Ireland? It's a bit controversial, but it did not matter at the end of the day. A Macaulay own goal in that game brought Wales through to the quarter-finals, being drawn against Belgium, who they obviously faced twice in the qualifiers, not losing once, and that continued. The bogey era of where Belgium could not beat Wales had started, winning 3-1, goals from Ashley Williams, Hal Robson-Kanu and Sam Vokes. Nainggolan getting the goal in the 13th minute, but it was not enough as the Welsh boys go through, winning 3-1 as I've said. However, this game was not a pretty affair, as Aaron Ramsey had got a yellow card, his second of the tournament, meaning he was suspended for the semi-finals against Portugal. As I said earlier, Portugal had only got through by getting third place in the group, but it was one step too far, one suspension too far for Wales as they lose 2-0 to Portugal. Two quick fire goals coming from Cristiano Ronaldo and Nani. It was a sad day for Wales as we could have gone through to the final and made a massive upset in the same year that Leicester had won the Premier League, the biggest upset in English football to this day still. However, the team stuck together. They were given a massive round of applause when they came back home, and the team had done us proud. But then we had to still go into the 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, obviously. We got drawn into a group with Moldova, Georgia, Austria, Republic of Ireland and Serbia. This is a 6-team group, obviously, means we played every week, or every time. There was no games we missed, I don't think. Might have missed a couple, I'm not sure though. However, going into that first game, it was against Moldova, winning 4-0. Sorry for the pause if you can see it. But yeah, Moldova, 4-0 win. Goals coming from Sam Vokes, Joe Allen, Gareth Bale with the brace. And yeah, into our next game against Austria, where it was a 2-2 draw. Goals coming from Joe Allen and an own goal from Kevin Wimmer. At this point, 4 points, same place as we were in that Euro 2016 qualifiers group, funny enough. We've continued then to face Georgia, drawn 1-1 in a game where a team like Wales should be picking up all 3 points, but it's not the worst thing, it could have been a loss. So, Gareth Bale getting the goal there, though. In the next round, we faced Serbia, drawn 1-1, another goal coming from Bale and a Mitrovic goal for Serbia. In the next round, though, we faced the Republic of Ireland, drawing 0-0 in Dublin, no goals given out. Then we faced Serbia again, where we draw 1-1 again. Goals coming from Ramsey penalty and Mitrovic again. As you can see, there's a common theme. Wales are drawn too much, and this came back to bite us. But for now, we faced Austria and win 1-0 in Cardiff with a Ben Woodburn goal. Upcoming youth star. Maybe he'll make it somewhere and be in this 2022 squad. Then we continue to face Moldova, winning 2-0. Hal Robson-Kanu and Ramsey with the goals. Ramsey, you can see at this point, is a very crucial figure. We then continue to verse Georgia, where we win 1-0. Goal coming from Tom Lawrence in the 49th minute, and we're looking in a good spot. However, we then have to verse Republic of Ireland. This game, the winner gets second place and advances to the second round of the knockouts. Ireland get the win though, and Welsh hearts are broken. We have to wait another 4 years to try and get into the World Cup. Kenny McLean taking that away from the Welsh national team that got to the semi-finals. Gareth Bale getting 4 goals though, top goal scorer for Wales in this qualifiers. It's heartbreaking, obviously, for this Welsh national team, as it was a very promising generation that definitely could have got far in in the World Cup in Russia. It was not to be, though. However, that is not it. The Welsh national team then goes into the 2020 Euros qualifiers, having to make up for that 2018 World Cup and really want to qualify. We were drawn into a group against Azerbaijan, Hungary, Slovakia and Croatia. Obviously, Croatia just made it to the World Cup final, losing 4-2 to France. The Welsh national team, though, was still a very same team. Not much had changed since that 2016 Euros. Also, a couple of players have been brought in, like the likes of Nico Williams, Connor Roberts, and Robson Kanu, less and less featured, and Ashley Williams not there as much. But it was not anything to be scared of, as in our first qualifiers game we versed Slovakia in a 1-0 win, with Daniel James getting the goal in the 5th minute. This man was still at Swansea at the time, I think. He might have got his big win with Man United, I'm not too sure. So, we actually got first round by no points, obviously that does not mean it's because there was 5 teams in the group, and even for every team be playing every week. Going into our next game, we played Croatia, where we lost 2-1, not able to get the win. That's only 3 points after 2 games, and that's a very odd start for the Welsh national team, as you've been seeing with these games. Going into the 3rd game, we played Hungary, where we lost 1-0 to a Pat guy. I played Butch Naps, so sorry if I did, where he scored an 80th minute in Hungary to get them the win. Going into the next game, it's Azerbaijan. We won 2-1. An own goal coming from Pashayev, again for Butch Nap, and then them equalising by Amrali in the 58th minute, but it's an 84th minute winner from Gareth Bale sees us win the game, getting our 2nd win of the group stage. Into the 5th game, I think it is now, we verse Slovakia again, where we draw 1-1, a Kiefer Moore goal in the 25th minute, and then Cooker again, the equaliser again. I'm so sorry for butchering anyone's names. And a red card to Giomba in the 88th minute for Slovakia. Going into our next game, we need to really start winning, but another draw is picked up as Nikola Vlasic gets gets a goal for Croatia in the 9th minute. Gareth Bale equalising though in the 3rd minute of the injury time in the first half. Going to the next game, we really need to tuck up wins, as we could not be qualifying, and that's exactly what we do with a 2-0 win against Azerbaijan. Goals coming from Kiefer Moore and Harry Wilson. At this point, we are not looking great, but we're still able to qualify. All we have to do is beat Hungary by, I think it's 2 goals. And that's exactly what we do with an Aaron Ramsey brace, winning 2-0 against Hungary. At this point now, we have qualified for the Euros in 2020. However, as you all know, a little thing called COVID-19 came about, and the Euros were postponed back to 2021, a year before the World Cup, which was a year and a half. So, going into this Euros, Wales were in a good spot. The 23-man squad had been picked, the likes of, or 26-man squad it was actually, because of COVID. The team featured the likes of Wayne Hennessy, Nico Williams, Ben Davis, Joe Roden, Joe Allen, Harry Wilson, Aaron Ramsey, Gareth Bale as captain, as Ashley Williams had retired. He also had Dan James, Ethan Ampty, Connor Roberts, Danny Ward, Kiefer Moore, Chris Metham, and more. Going into the group stage, we were drawn into a Group A against Italy, Switzerland, and Turkey. Going into that first game, we needed to pick up some points against Switzerland, which is exactly what we do, drawing 1-1. Kiefer Moore getting an equaliser in the 74th minute after Brian Mbolo took the lead for Switzerland in the 49th minute. Now, if you watched this Euros, you'll know that it took place all over Europe as a tradition. I don't know what Euros it was, but it was to do with this being a special number for the Euros. Going into our next game though, in the Olympic Stadium in Baku, we played all our games except the 3rd one in Baku. so obviously, did not help with all the travelling we had to do. But we beat Turkey 2-0 with goals coming from Aaron Ramsey late into the first half, and then very, very late into the second half, Connor Roberts gets a goal for the Welsh national team. We won the game 2-0. Turkey are out near enough. Going into our third game though, we play Italy, the favourites to go through. They won 1-0. We lost. Pessina getting them a goal. I remember watching that game. Obviously, I watched all more, and it was heartbreaking when they went in. But in the round of 16, we got drawn against Denmark after finishing second in our group. Not as glamorous as last year's, but it does the job. However, Denmark obviously were cruising along after the very, very sad moment of Christian Eriksen. And obviously, for recovering, it's been brilliant what he's done after his recovery, and I'm so happy for him. But we lose 4-0. Goals coming from a Dolberg, Brace, Maella, and Jared Branthwaite, and a red card to Harry Wilson, I think it was. Yeah, Wales are out in the round of 16. Not what we were hoping for, but it is what happened, and there's nothing you can do. Wales are out, Denmark are through. Obviously, eventual champions Italy within our group, beating England on penalties. So yeah, going in now to the World Cup qualifiers. It was all very rushed because you had stuff like the Euros happening in that summer when World Cup qualification wouldn't be happening. You had the Nations League, which we're not going to be talking about at all in this video, so don't expect me to bring it up. However, I will bring it up for one part, but we'll move on to that later. Yeah, so it was very rushed, and then a bit of friendlies. Now I don't know why they were international friendlies, but there were. So this whole World Cup was very jammed together. But into the group, we were drawn against Belgium, Czech Republic, Estonia, and Belarus. In our first game, we faced Belgium in at Belgium. It was in the stadium Den Dreef, but obviously because of COVID restrictions, there were no fans allowed in the stadium. Belgium beat us 3-1. Harry Wilson did give us a bit of hope though in the 11th minute, getting a goal, but Belgium really turned on and got them the win. Going into our next game, our first time in a while of not picking up points in that first game, it was in Czech Republic. Dan James gets the goal. Still no fans in the stadium, sadly, but they get the win at the Cardiff City Stadium, 1-0. Going into our third game against Belarus in the Central Stadium in Kazan, Russia. Wales win 3-2 with a Gareth Bale hat-trick. But really, we should be doing better against a team like Belarus, and I would agree. I remember watching it in this room on that TV right there, and I remember, because if you don't know, we went 1-0 up in the 6th minute with a penalty, get another penalty in the 69th minute where Gareth Bale scores it again, and in the 93rd minute it looks like when all is done, we're only getting the point, and this could be us already out of the World Cup qualifiers. We get a 93rd minute winner, keeper making a mistake when he really should be saving it. Gareth Bale gets us the goal, and we are through to, well, not through, but we have picked up 3 points, massive 3 points. Now, into the next game, we play Estonia. Fans were finally allowed back in the stadium, but we do not give them a great welcome back, drawing 0-0 inside the Cardiff City Stadium. Then we go on to versus the Czech Republic, drawing 2-2. Dan James getting another goal on Ramsey. Going into our next game, this is we faced Estonia. Kiefer Moore getting the goal, and we pick up another 3 points, a massive 3 points for this qualifiers. Going into the next game, this game I was at, thankfully, and I was out at the next couple games. So all these games I've witnessed in person. I've not watched them back since, obviously. I've watched highlights, but I've not watched the full game, obviously. We beat Belarus 5-1, making it look like we should have battered them last time. But yeah, we beat them 5-1. Goals coming from Aaron Ramsey, Nico Williams, Ben Davis, and Connor Roberts. Aaron Ramsey with a brace. Now going into the final game, we had to at least get a draw to finish second in the group. Either way, we had playoffs because of the Nations League. As I said, I was going to come out to this later, as I said earlier. The Nations League works if you're in Group B or Pot B. It means if you finish top of the group, you get an automatic spot to qualify in the qualifying rounds. So the Czech Republic also had this though, meaning that they were either way getting it. So Wales we will draw 1-1 to Belgium in the Cardiff City Stadium. I was at this game as well. I was at the next two games I'm going to talk about in a second. Kiefer Moore getting the goal, and De Bruyne, even playing with COVID, got a goal for Belgium as well. And I remember when that Kiefer Moore goal went in, all you heard was Kiefer Moore, and it just continued for like a solid 10 minutes until that final whistle where we were able to say we were in the qualifiers. Now, because we got through to the qualifiers of the knockouts for the World Cup, we did not know who we were drawn against yet. When it all was drawn now, we were facing against Austria. In that Austria game, we win 2-1 with a free kick from Gareth Bale and another goal from Gareth Bale off a corner. Gareth Bale really turned up in this game and was like, you know what, we're getting to this World Cup and I don't care what you say. Another side of the bracket was Scotland versus Ukraine. Now, obviously at the time, the game was going to happen when it was drawn, but due to circumstances of a very unfair and something that should not be happening, and there'll be a link in the description if you want to donate, Ukraine were not able to play their game yet. So the game was pushed back until June, where Scotland play Ukraine. Ukraine win 3-0, I think it was, making them go through to this final against Wales, up for the final spot to qualify for the World Cup. And Wales win 1-0. Wayne Hennessy having a game of his life. Gareth Bale getting another goal. I don't know how it was given as his goal, by the way. It was literally headed in by Yarmolenko. Own goal though. And yeah, Wales are through after full time. And yeah, we get through to the World Cup in Qatar, which is happening right now as I speak. Obviously, there's a game literally on as I speak. But you know how it has gone so far. I'll give you a brief overview, but most of you would have been watching it if you're watching this video, I presume so. We were drawn into a group against England, Iran, and America. In this first game against America, we drew 1-1. Not a very pretty affair, as America get a goal off a defensive mistake, too many defenders pushing out, and Nico Williams then keeping Timothy Weah on side, and he finishes it. But around the 80th minute, Gareth Bale wins a penalty and he calmly slots it with a lot of power, drawing the game 1-1. Now, today's the day I'm recording this 10 AM kickoff against Iran. We lose 2-0. Sloppy performance from the entire team, and it looks like we're going to be out. We still versus England though, so if we win that and results go our way later today, where America beat England and then America beat Iran and we beat England, we are through. It is so unlikely, but if we somehow manage it, we'll be singing the likes of whoever scores in that game for the rest of their life, and they're going to have heroes. But yeah, two more things I want to talk about before we end this video. There are two anthems for the Welsh national team. Obviously, we have the main anthem that is sang before every game. That is called Hen Vlad Finadwch. And this is the official national anthem of the Welsh national team. When translated to English, the title is Land of My Fathers. This is sang before every single Wales game, and it is always a magical thing to hear. No matter what the team is, no matter how many fans are, it's always one of the loudest anthems and one of the proudest anthems for any Welsh or any supporter to hear. Sometimes, like in the Nations League against Poland, they try and out-sing, but it just does not happen. With this anthem, you'll hear in every Wales game. It is one of the best anthems, honestly. I'm so happy to be in the stadium. It really hurts your ears though when you're in there listening to it. I've got a video of it actually being played. It's Austria and Ukraine in those World Cup qualifiers where I was at the game. If you want to listen to those both in the description as well. Now, another anthem is the unofficial anthem of the Welsh national team. It is called Rhiannon or Hyd. Most people have heard of this. It was created by David Evan, and he sings it most times before important Wales games. If you know what Rhiannon or Hyd translates to, it means we are still here. The chorus goes Rhiannon or Hyd, Rhiannon or Hyd. Y gwaith y pawb y popeth, y gwaith y pawb y popeth, y gwaith y pawb y popeth, rhian mor hyd, which translates to, we are still here, we are still here, despite everyone and everything, despite everyone and everything, despite everyone and everything, we are still here. It is a proud Welsh sang song about how the country of Cymru, aka Wales, is still here to this day, despite everything that has ever happened in our history. It goes over a lot of things. It goes over how, like, it can be controversial, but if you're obviously Welsh, it's a very proud song to hear and sing. There's parts where it goes over Maxen. I know Wales obviously very well. I don't know much about it, but it's a very important thing if you want to know. I'll put this song again in the description. It also goes over how people have tried to ruin the Welsh language, but it's still here to this day. It tries going over how we are weak, but at the start of every dawn, we are always still here. It's a very proud song to listen to in the stadium, and it'll always be an amazing song and sing with in Vlad and Nahado. Now, thank you so much if you've made it this far. This is a very long video, and I'm sorry for that, but I've always wanted to try and do this video, and today was the best day. You can probably tell off the background how it's gone from a day underneath my blinds to night. That's long it's taken me to record this. Hopefully this will be out today, but yeah. Thanks so much for watching. If you do enjoy this, I can do some more national teams or even clubs. Like if you want me to do a Everton one, I can. If you want me to do maybe an England one, I can. But I need to see if the video does well. And if you guys want another one, put in the comment section below what team I should do this on. Hit the like button so I know it does well. Thank you so much for everyone that's watched this. I hope you have a brilliant day. I'll see you guys in the next one. And goodbye and goodbye.